Hey, how's it going, everybody? Crusty old Crow, I'm back. I'm alive, and it's alive on Saturday. How's everybody doing today? I hope the weekend finds you well. I hope the week has found you well. I hope you've been, all spending time with some good new toys. I'll just call people up there. I'm going to say hi to the chat really quick. I don't expect a whole lot there. Oh, Jesus. Why did that go off? I had multi-streaming going for some stupid reason. Anyways, yeah, we're back live just for this one time, guys, until I can get a better streaming plan right now. I'm not doing solo lives as much. You guys have noticed I kind of backed off Saturday while I sorted out some life events. Those are still getting resolved, but the come March or April, I'll be looking at maybe trying to do lives on a more regular basis as a, just for my own channel. Y'all know that you can still find me on 3 Star Draws channel when we do our backyard battlefield episodes together, and that's every other Wednesday, right? That's 3 Star getting at the grind, right? One Wednesday with me and one with his cousin Pop Blender. Well, they do their show Seventh Wild, and it is a good time, guys. So make sure you check us out on those nights, and Down South 77 as well, who I have waiting backstage at some point here. I'm going to bring him out just to help me move on with some stuff and get his thoughts and opinions on some random stuff that he had no idea I was going to throw at him because he agreed to do a live at the very last second, the sucker. I'm going to say hi to Daredevil Dave and Menjoza, of course. Like I said, and Evil Dookie, welcome. Good to see you guys here. A punk with toys. Yes, I am going to stream. Thanks for showing up, Lawrence. Appreciate that. I got 3 Star Draw back. Oh, what's up? Let me out of the backstage cage. No, not yet. Turk Murph Solutions. Good to see you, buddy. And I don't know who else is here. Seems like that's 8 people. Looks like it's got 8 people. That's good enough for me to carry on with the show. Okay, guys. First off, I want to get an opinion out. Not about the drama. Not about the drama you think I'm talking about. God damn it, Trump's gonna make things really hard for me to collect toys, I gotta let you know, I'm very disappointed that Canada only equated to a single state in Trump's head. We have multiple provinces. I guess we're all just supposed to forget that in our heritage and just collapse in because progress says that we should just cave in and become the states. Seriously, boy, what's up with your boy? Control your boy. All right. At least please keep him off Twitter from now on. That's the only thing I'm gonna ask, right? It's funny, but it's sad at the same time. And that's enough of the politics. I'm just letting you know where I stand on Trump. Disappointed as F. All right. So today what I'm gonna cover, guys, I actually do have an agenda. I gotta remember to look at these notes as I say, did I say hi to Daredevil Dave? I'm sure I did. Today I'm going to cover the last wave of the Joe stuff that we just got. So dial tone, leather, leatherneck, saw viper, Xander. Have another look at those. Some at a glance. Now that I've had them in my hand for over a week or two, other things we've noticed along the way. I'm then going to break into the QC issue I found with Leatherneck, and that's another reason why I was glad to have Down South 77 with me today, is because coincidentally, both of our leathernecks are the most realistic infantry soldier ever. They have bad knees, and we're going to show you that and ask you guys about your experiences if you've had that yet. Should there be a concern? Has there been a big address about this? I'm not aware. I'll also move into the snake armor question. Will it fit a figure? It absolutely will. I'll provide you a good site evidence as to exactly how. Unfortunately, I won't have the snake armor image up on there, but you guys can, you guys have seen that image by now, and you know that they use Torch's flame as a reference, not just as a piece of kit, but as a reference for how tall and how big we can expect this to be. So I'm going to show you a neat little way to estimate ranges and distances using that, and assure you we are going to get figures inside that damn thing. Okay, Marvel Legends. Crow started collecting Marvel Legends. Eventually, I'll think about how I want to do reviews on Marvel Legends. I'll show you some of those that I got, talk about a little bit of Street Fighter, talk about some kit bashing and the customs. You guys know Destro Castle. That's going to be a big one for you guys today, because when I end this, my Destro's Castle video is going to be relevant. So if you haven't watched my Destro Castle video part 2, the bigger one, where I show you where that thing is at, you're not going to be able to participate in the giveaway I have a little bit later today, where yeah, it's my 500 subscriber thank you giveaway, where I'm going to give you guys some Energon Universe GI Joe's comics, and one of you is going to walk away with a comic and a Coco. Once a man Cobra Commander. Okay. So make sure if you have watched that video, that you wrote down the password for this one today, and we'll do that near the end. Okay. So I will possibly talk a little bit about drama, but maybe a little bit later. All right. But what I want to do right now is I want to bring on my good buddy Down South 77, who did me a solid and was paying attention as I mentioned. You know what I don't have for this show Down South is the snake armor.
Snake armors. Well, you will have
Yeah.
it now. Kind of.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for joining me on this one, man. Yeah, like I just explained to the guys, I'm fine not being a solo act right now. I'm not set up for a solo act. But yes, this was just for my channel stream. Darren's doing me a solid by showing up today to give me just another view on a couple of things that I'm talking about. All right. So how you been, man?
Tired. I was up really late last night and sat out on the couch. Needed a minute to unwind after being up as late as I was with the conversation that I had. And I sat down and I chewed up an Ambien and another prescription and then got a bowl of popcorn. And I woke up this morning on the couch with the popcorn in the floor like this. But at least I got about 6 hours of sleep out of it. So it's
Oh,
going swimmingly.
that's great news. I mean, at least I got you on a relaxed day, not a busy kind of day like you usually have. You know, you're usually
Yeah.
up and going. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
today's a nothing day. I'm clear today, so thanks for having me on.
no, that's awesome. Thanks for joining me. Okay, and Bobby, thanks for joining us. Yes, the pre-order for ROM. No, but I am getting that pre-order in. I saw the pics that they put up today for the ROM for Marvel Legends, and the Miles Morales is also looking good for that Spider-Man. So I'll probably be getting a pre-order in on those. So hi to Bobby, and yeah, Punk is very approving of your 6 hours of sleep. He definitely does not envy you at all for 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
Seeing,
he probably got about the same, I would imagine. He's up late all the time. We know that.
I was talking to him earlier today, and there was well past 3 in the morning mentioned that he was up. Met 3 to 4. He said he was up to. So sound like you guys had a busy night last night.
It was a good time.
So yeah, right on. So want to talk about that first wave first right now, the wave that we just finished there. On If you were to put the wave in order, and remembering guys that I'm talking about, dial tone, leatherneck, saw viper, Xandar wave. If you were to put that order in order, what is it? What's the first to last favorites on those ones? I'm asking you, Darren, and the chat.
Oh well, you said guys, you didn't say
Yeah, sorry.
down south. So okay, well, so I don't have dial tone yet. Most of us sorry people in
Oh, that's right.
your new home country don't have dial tone yet. A lot of people do, but honestly, I think mine probably goes leatherneck, dial tone, Xandar, Saw Viper. It's a very good
Yeah.
wave.
It is a very good wave. That was the big thing. As ridiculous as I thought Saw Viper was, even after I got it, it had enough good things going for it that I thought it was a strong figure for what it was. Saying hi to Kyle Jackson for joining us. Thanks very much, Kyle. Appreciate that. And yeah, there's the Saw Viper with a double feed super gun. Sorry, I should just say there's Saw Viper's gun and his accessory, the figure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's acceptable to
Xandar.
still call him Psy Viper though, because
Yeah. Side Viper. Yeah, killed so many.
nah.
Xandar, I want to like this a lot more than I do, but he just got overshadowed, I think, by Leatherneck and Dial Tone in the end, as I saw it. So if you guys haven't gotten, so you haven't gotten dial tone yet, let me just give myself full screen for a second. So I have no idea what the holdup is. Maybe you need to come over to the state of Canada and come shopping, because these are in our Game Stops everywhere. We'll just 25% you to death, and you'll 25% us to death back. But
Sounds
uh,
like it.
yeah, I have no idea who thought these tariff things were a great idea, but not toy collectors. I'll tell you that. Not over here.
Ooh.
uh, Leatherneck. Do you have yours on hand?
I have both the corrected version and the veteran version.
Okay. So the veteran version is the one that we're drawing eyes on today,
Okay.
is just because I know for a fact that mine broke in a different spot than yours. Is that not correct? Like mine
Uh,
was damaged on
yeah,
the front. Yeah. So do
yeah.
you want to hold up yours for the guys to see where yours was? And I'll give you solo layout right now. All right, so we're talking something heating up with the plastics after it's all been set. They're melting, and then when you go to crack the joint, it's tearing pieces of the fabric or the plastic apart. Right? Is that
Yeah,
not an
and
accurate description?
that sounds exactly like what happened. And if you can't tell, I mean, I know you see the chunk missing, but it's actually on the center part of the knee that broke and took out part of the top part of it. So it is actually part of the swivel or the pin joint, whatever,
Hmm.
and the top part of the thigh where it just took that chunk out. And the knee still works. It doesn't affect it, but I think after repeated posing or whatever, using moving him around, I think eventually this whole knee is just gonna crack and not work anymore. And I did
Yeah.
heat him up. I did go back and heat him up and loosened all the joints up and all that. And then, of course, when I got the replacement that Hasbro sent, made a video out of it. He went in the pan on the stove and heated that one up, and it is still really, really stiff on that new one.
Yeah. See, I can't go about it the way you did mine. And sorry, I'm just really quickly before I show mine on the main stage. Mine did happen somewhere else, but I just want to say hi to Son of Crayon Slayer and to Sub Zero 911. Thanks for showing up, you guys, and of course Tony over at Legend Series. Thanks very much. Sub Zero, I think you're relatively new to the channel, so welcome to the channel. And so yeah, no, I'm gonna show where mine now cracked. Mine did it at the front. Darren's at the rear, mine at the front. Very top of the pin joint housing. Where's my
Same knee,
laser?
too.
Yeah, same
Same knee.
knee. But you can see where the lip of the knee padding was caught in and under what had melted, and I basically tore that melt apart when I cracked his knee. Right. So, just it's not. I don't want this to be listed as me abiding by a QC issue. I hate QC issues. As I say hi to Roman Graham, welcome back, buddy. Um, did this ruin the figure for you? I know you were able to order a replacement because you ordered yours direct from Hasbro. I
Hmm.
went through GameStop, so I would have had to take it back, and I wouldn't have been able to keep the old one the way that you were able to with the Hasbro. So there was no benefit for me doing an exchange, but like, was it ruining the figure for you overall?
A lot of times that does really sway my decision or my review on the figures, and something like this, it really should, because it is obviously rampant, and I showed the batch numbers and all that stuff on the bottom of the feet, but in short, no, because the figure is still usable, it's still posable, and it is still a really, really good figure for me.
Hmm.
So I did not let that ruin this figure. Now, if it was bad enough to where I couldn't pose him, where I couldn't stand him, or I feel like the knee is about to come apart, something like that, that'd be another story. But I still think it's a really good figure. And if Hasbro had told me to send this one back, I wouldn't have had any problem with it whatsoever. I
Yeah,
would be more than happy to have it back. So no, he's still a really good figure for me.
and that's fair. He was enough for me that it was. Yeah, it's annoying. It annoys me to know that that QC issue was there on the figure and I decided to keep it. But at the same time, I started coming up with a theory as to why it is. Like I don't spot it at a difference. The way I've got them posed, on the shelf, I don't really see it. There was enough there to counterbalance all of it, but CUC issues are kind of like paint apps if they're small enough for me. If you miss a little bit of paint, it doesn't ruin the figure for me,
Yeah.
right? Same as if there's a little nick here and there, that's fine. But guys, I'm starting to wonder if this means that Hasbro needs to look at their airborne molds because that's Leatherneck's legs. It's airborne, right? And if you consider
Yeah.
how much airborne's buck has been used for right now, I wonder if this is a sign that whatever assembly line is putting that together has an issue that they need to examine, right? With this mold.
Airborne's knees are pretty tight, and he is
Mhm.
also the Halo jumper that you sent me, the awesome Halo jumper figure, and his are super tight. His are, I mean, I guess just slightly more bendy than Leathernecks because I had to heat him up too.
Yeah, so you got to wonder if there's something about the temperatures they're using it at where they thought it worked fine for the last two settings that we did these runs with this mold. It will work fine with Leathernecks, and something inside the sculpt didn't, like something inside the mold itself went. I don't know. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that in case some of you guys hadn't gotten Leatherneck yet. Do inspect that. What's another good warning for these guys about Leatherneck if they haven't gotten them yet there, Darren?
As soon as you take him out of the package, admire it quickly and go ahead and take off that silver bracelet on his wrist, or you may never see it again.
Yeah, 100%. This thing, it's great, guys, but it is an open recess that is almost the entire width of the wrist itself. So it really doesn't take much to take that thing and launch it like a toenail clipper in a YMCA locker room, man. It's gone, right? So
Here's
just
my
be
leather
careful.
neck accessory bag, and they are both in here for both
Yeah,
of them.
right. And that's eventually where this one's going to go. It's just so iconic to, one of the nicer little accessories on there. I was saying, like, I'm used to seeing those things for treating arthritis, cramp pains, and things like that. So I thought it was a cool ad. I know it's got the nostalgia for, not like the lore is that it's for fallen comrades, and that's even cooler to me. But uh, just could say I have four Halo jumper and all but locked up legs. Add heat. Yeah, everybody I know has had tight basically airborne buck knees, right? So I
Yeah,
just think
same
this is,
thing.
yeah. And my local Walmart dropped, sorry, just changed while I was reading. My local Walmart is piling up with Alpine Iron Grenadiers and bats. Isn't that a good thing though? You
Dave
know,
has
I,
the best Walmart in the United States near his house for figures.
yeah, an abundance of troop builders. Stop. The Iron Grenadiers. Oh no.
Oh
But
no.
But Walmart's so inconsistent. I think he's probably got his state's worth of allocation for those figures in that one location, right? Like,
Probably because it's right by the Gulf, so they probably just sent them all to that Walmart when they unloaded the container.
yeah, yeah. 12 for you, one for nope. All
The
right, so
rest of the
dial
state.
tone. Yeah, exactly. Dial tone, guys, the learning lesson on dial tone comes with the idea of heating again. I'm going to repeat what I did in the video in case you guys missed that in the video. But you need to really consider when you're going to, if you're the kind of person that boils water and then sets these so that they're loose, or take a hair dryer to use to loosen up the joints, be cognizant of I'm sorry, while I go to solo layout again, of the hip belt for his phone. All right. If you decide that you want to keep his cell phone in there and not on the rifle, trust me, on the rifle's far more secure. This thing is gummy and easy to knock that right out of there. Those are the lessons learned on those two figures as far as these small points, right?
And that's not removable either. Like that doesn't peg in. It's made onto the belt on dial
No,
tone.
it is seal glued to the belt. It is a post in there, but I don't think it's designed to be removed like a compartment of the vests. I
Oh,
haven't
it's
really
like
tested it.
Xandar's headband.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same feel as 60th anniversary soldier web belt gear, right? Like plug and play. No, it's supposed to be there as far as I can tell. I'm just gonna get caught up a bit on the chat there before we move on to the next subject. So, uh, dab of super glue. Oh, on the wrist bracelet. That's not a bad idea if you did want to take the time to secure that thing. As long as it doesn't interfere with the articulation. Let's see. A punk with toys says no issues with my leather neck, but maybe they made sure I got the best ones due to the likeness. Yeah, yeah. There's just no getting around this topic, eh? Like punk with
Leather punk.
leather punk. Like the similarity is it's there. I know a few people who have a face kind of this type, the dark hair, mustache, heavy brows, stern look, and stocky set. I've met a few people, and Lawrence is definitely one of those people. So I could
Yeah.
definitely see the likeness for sure. If you guys, yeah, I would find it funny to see anyone kind of argue against that point. And the fact that the figure is just slightly smaller, shorter in stature than some of the other Joes in the line, just that's a little bit of extra sugar on that coating there, right?
There, people were really butthurt over that too, over that figure being a shorter buck, and I mean, I think it's because the what was it, the 40th or the 50th anniversary one was kind of tall, and that's what they're basing some of these designs on, kind of meshing them with the real American hero. But I mean, I don't care. People are different sizes. Leatherneck to me, I think Leatherneck at his job would be more effective being a smaller person. But that didn't bother me a
So,
bit.
so you got to think about this, and I know Punk would support this from a different experience than I would. But some of the toughest guys I ever met in the Canadian military, as far as infantry and armored guys, probably 5'8" and under. Like they start going down. And we call it little big man syndrome. Meaning the smaller I get, the bigger I gotta feel. So what do? They go hit the gym. They get into a healthy routine, and these guys turn into juggernauts, right? And you don't mock them at all. So as far as Leatherneck goes, in the military, you're going to meet a ton of people under 5'8", trust me. And Leatherneck fits right in. I don't care about the size. So, uh, anything to add on that before? Yeah,
Uh,
5'4" and under, you say.
the guys like that you're talking about, not just military, but any of those uh, typically shorter people that decide that for whatever reason they go and they bulk up, like there's no knocking them over. They're like the game at the fair where you have to throw the ball at the milk jugs that are glued down.
Yeah.
You don't mess with them guys.
Yeah, for sure. And I like this comment from Punk. 5'4" and under, you say. Yeah, as a matter of fact, especially in an armored vehicle like a Mobat tank or a Mauler tank, right? Or in real life tanks, and armored vehicles, your driver and your crew, if the smaller they are, the better off they are. Like we love short people in our driver's holes because you have no room in those things. So if you're a
Yeah.
small guy, you can get comfortable and you will go without complaining a lot longer in that vehicle than a guy 6'4" trying to squeeze into that damn thing. So
doing
armored
what
crews are
doing what I'm doing, crossing and recrossing my legs under this desk, trying to get comfortable and stirring around.
absolutely 100p, man. Like some of the best tank drivers I've ever met, or lav crew drivers. Some of them, they're like leprechauns hopping out of that hole, man. Like they are cozy though,
Like a
right?
clown car.
Oh yeah, man. Like, but that's what you want. You want guys that don't complain because you're stuck in that vehicle for sometimes like 36 to 48 hours, and you don't want to hear the whining start, right? I'm gonna quickly jump back to saying, who's the tiny guy in the Peacemaker series? Yeah, I saw the Peacemaker. I can't remember that guy's name, but the little green dude, if anybody knows that, put that in the comments. I want to say hi to Tony's Figs. Thanks for stopping by, Tony. Um, so I think we've kind of harped on Leatherneck enough and picked on Punk very little, not at all. Talked about the QC issues. I want to talk about that snake armor, seeing as you were nice enough to provide me with that image,
Okay.
right? And I know in the comments I can pretty much predict short paratroopers are the worst. They float away. We're gonna add this image to the stage there, guys. Now, I'm pretty sure if I were to ask the chat, a majority of you were probably already convinced early that this thing would hold a figure, and I'm agreeing with you. If there's somebody in the chat that thinks that this is not going to be able to hold a figure very well, just let us know, right? Because this next little bit is just my creative way of showing you what you already know, right? Which is if we start using estimate range tools of what we have available, we can get from the unknown to the known very quickly. And so the first thing we look at is the flame effect, right? Which would be something that we already recognize as remolded or reuse of the torch flame effect, which I'm holding in my hand right now, right? So we already know what the size of that is. And in inches, this is a 4-inch accessory, right? I'll give myself the stage, right? So 4-inch accessory, we already know that from tip to insert point. So 4 inches. You put that next to the leg, you can see the flush comparison from the top of the ankle to the rotator disc in the thigh. That's 4 inches, right?
Yep. And they
Okay.
have it lined up almost just perfectly for people that can see that and make that comparison.
Okay. So if we pan back out, what we need to do to really superimpose this is we need to have a reference for how that looks across, right? So I bought, and I'm going to give myself the full stage again, a
Oh,
tool to do this with.
I know what's coming now.
Yeah. So we're going to go solo stage for a second while we humor this. So I've been eyeballing one of these forever and a day, and I finally got off the fence and got one of these. This is the Marvel Legends series What If Hydra Stomper from season 1, which I thought was just a badass piece of kit I wanted for my Joe and War Toy shelf. So here's our reference tool, 4 inches, and look at it's already top of the ankle to the rotator disc. So we know that this is probably about the same height, at least to that part. What we need to know is how wide it's the snake armor. With the Hydra Stomper, this thing is like 3 inches wide. Can we agree on that? From
Yeah,
there to there, maybe even
hey,
two and
that's
a
right.
half, right? So we also need to know depth, right? And it's about half depth, so about 2 by 2 inches. So what we need to know then is establish what kind of a figure could fit into possibly even a Hydra Stomper. I worked it out already, pretty much none, right? But when you curl torpedo up in a ball like this, you can start getting a scale comparison of what needs to happen with the Hydra Stomper, which is simply that it needs to be wider front, back, and left, right. If you go back to the image of the Hydra Stomper, we have that.
Yeah, it's definitely got the extra width and depth,
If
and
you
I think even a little height too, maybe.
100%, if you were to take that flame effect and superimpose it, you would see that the thing is that's probably 5 to 6 inches in height from above that ball joint that we just measured the first time. And in width, I would say that's probably about a good 5.5 to 6 inches wide. And based off what we've seen off the snake armor before, I've got to assume it's going to be a minimum of 4 to 5 inches in depth, right? So this thing's going to be big and lunky and beautiful as far
I
as I'm
think
seeing that.
I think it looks great. I can't wait till we get to actually see some product images of this. And I've heard it said that there was supposed to be another slide that goes with this. This is I don't know. This is just something that I heard, so don't take it
Sure.
with a grain of salt. But there supposedly was originally a slide that went with behind this that they didn't show that has more that comes with this guy and potentially a pilot on that slide. So that's a speculation. As far as I know that is what has been circulated around, if that's the truth. And they've said they're not going to do any vehicle without some kind of a driver or pilot. And I think this probably counts as a vehicle. So I
Mhm.
would expect this thing. I see Legends, you have Legends highlighted price point. I would say somewhere in that neighborhood is my guess. I think it's going to be 75 or $80 personally. I know other people have said higher, some people have said lower. That is also my guess, is somewhere in the ballpark of 80.
Okay. So I am right now, my vamp is loaded with 3 figures. I'm just using this as a gauge of weight. It's only slightly heavier, and I mean slightly heavier than a Hydro Stomper. The amount of plastics in in something this big, uh, you better hope that you can fit a figure in there so that's hollowed out, so they're using less plastics involved. But I see this thing at least vamp pricing. 79.99 seems reasonable. $100 seems reasonable with the figure added. And that Punk just said it as I was thinking it. With a figure added, $100, right?
Yeah.
These are going to be tall, big, lunky plastic pieces. If you know that 4-inch flame piece is there, look at the size of the black accessories that are clamping onto that and realize each of those is about the size of the torso of a regular figure as well, right? So there's a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
looks like
plastic. Yeah, there's a lot of costs probably going into this that we need to brace for, right? So definitely got to say hi to Woody. Woody Triple Deuce gracing us. Hello, buddy. Good to see you. So I did want to talk about that, and that was the big thing, was I wanted to show that math equation, and it gave me a guilty pleasure of showing off a Hydro Stomper, which I was really a fan of. Love that thing, but I knew from the start when I saw that snake armor, Hasbro wouldn't be prepared to stand by a snake armor that couldn't take a troop. I don't think they could take that criticism with the line, right? Removing one of the best play features out of that toy and then
Yeah, I
saying no.
think so too. I know it's people have said that, obviously that there's a hinge on it, and perhaps it would be like a drone, like a half figure size drone, or maybe some type of altered bat or something to go in there. But yeah, I think people would really be upset if you could not put a figure in there. This is going to be close or bigger than the Super 7 one, I think. And
Oh,
that one doesn't, the figure doesn't come out of that one. It's molded in. I think this one will be at least that big.
yeah. I mean, for sure, right? And this, again, I think about the guys who always see a price tag and are easily swayed to go, I'll wait till it's clearance. So I'll be like, the hell this thing is going to clearance bins, even if it is $100, right? This is not going to be an Ollie's treat. This is going to be a venture, I think, that pays off. And Bobby asks, what repainted figure do you think they would include? And I'm going to let you answer that one first.
I was actually typing out an answer for it in chat. So I
Oh,
think
okay.
it will be a trooper or an officer repaint, perhaps a repaint of the retro trooper we just got, similar to what they did with the Stinger driver. Or I think they might go with the female buck, like the Valkyrie, just to make maybe they wouldn't have to make it so wide and whatever if they went with the female buck. But I think it would be one of those two. It's definitely going to be a generic trooper of some sort, like what they're doing with the trench viper with the battle toilet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the battle toilet, exactly. I'm with you. I think it's either going to be the Cobra Trooper or the Cobra female trooper Valkyrie, just because you need to be able to be our where they're, oh god,
You're freezing a bit.
sit on. Oh, am I? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
just a
get out of
little.
that. If I'm freezing, guys, I apologize. Yeah. Oh, my thing is glitching. It just suddenly moved me back to a 3-point stage. So we're gonna remove the snake armor from the stage.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just need them to get in that sitting pose, and so the Cobra Trooper without any web gear or vest should be able to do that. Valkyrie the same. Those should be able to fit in there. And I do see Daredevil Dave's comments about the Techno Viper and the Bat. Um, yeah, you could justify it just on the it would make sense, tech piece in tech piece, why not? But those bucks, have their own associated issues.
Yeah.
Um, are you going to throw in their kit or not? And then how much more are we going to put in the cost? Bearing in mind that bats and Techno Vipers come with a lot of accessories themselves, right? For a
I
suit
don't
like
think you.
this,
I think
go ahead.
you'd get a stripped down version of them with just the sidearm. I don't think you'd get the accessories with them for this if it was one of those figures. The idea of a bat makes sense. I mean, we were talking about some people are speculating a drone or something. I just don't want a robot controlling a robot. It's redundant.
It is. It's kind of like, why am I piling all my asset into one place for one
Yeah.
detonation to take care of? But again, it's what you interpret it as, and you can justify it as your toys, your brain cannon, right? Um, so did I say hi to Evil Dookie yet? Yeah, I think I did it right
Don't
off the bat, eh? No, but
I don't
I
think
do want
so.
to say hi to Wilfredo Diaz. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I think, Wilfredo, you're referring to the giveaway at the end of the channel. That's right. And just a reminder to everybody who has joined us, because I did see the number did change. If you want to participate in the 500 subscriber thank you giveaways for the comics and the Once a Man Cobra Commander, you do have to know what the secret password is that I dropped in my Destro Castle video part 2. So just letting you know. Um, Right on. So, did you, I don't know. I didn't want to get into the whole slideshow about the Awe Striker. Are we good if we just talk a little Awe Striker without the images really quick? Because I think we
Uh,
know the subject pretty well.
yeah, I mean, I can pull them up if you need them, but I don't need them.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of discussion that needs to be had besides Gridiron provided a really cool but expensive copy of a Doom Buggy that people think would be better than the All Striker or don't. There's another company that provided an older one. And then there's the All Striker, which people had a lot of questions with the digital render. My only question is, regardless of how you saw it, did it change your plans to buy the All Striker? I think everybody was planning on buying one. Would you still buy one based off what you just saw? Simple as
Yeah,
that. I'm going to, right?
yeah,
It's a
I
digital
would.
render. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been excited for the Off Striker. It's one of my favorite GI Joe vehicles, and I even if it doesn't. So everybody, we're all complaining. I say everybody, we're all complaining about those front wheels being small. Even if they are a little undersized, like it's still the Hasbro product. It's still the All Striker. It still looks good to me. It's like the Vamp crankcase is worth half the price of it for me, just like getting Clutch was for the Vamp.
There
So
you go.
I'm
Yeah.
still planning on buying it for sure.
Absolutely. But the only thing I'm concerned about this is it's not how the vamp or the All Striker looks. We've seen generally how it's going to look from one angled shot and one digital render. I can accept what I'm seeing, and I've heard, you can take pieces away from it to make it look more sleek, things like that. That's great. It's will it go down the way the vamp went down? That is my only concern. This is a brand new molded vehicle. It's not, the Stinger to a Vamp. This is its own thing. Do they limit the run on this and then go, sorry guys, we're all out. That one's done because that's twice at that cat where they said they learned a lesson and then they would be proving that they didn't. And I'm just apprehensive.
That's one of the things, like, you once you fool me once, kind of things,
Hmm.
because we never know. We never know with Hasbro. They tell us they're cutting production numbers. They're have going to have distribution issues, which we are seeing the distribution issues with the we were just talking about it with Dial Tone and Leatherneck in this wave. You can't believe what they tell you. So everybody, your mileage may vary. If you want it, if it's something that you want, Punk says it all the time. All the time. Order the damn thing as soon as it drops from wherever you order from that has it. If it's a Pulse exclusive, which it's probably gonna be, um, order it, get it. If you change your mind, you can cancel it because it ain't gonna be in stock, yet. I don't know. I wish I could make better predictions on what actually happens versus what they say. But they said last year they were cutting back on stuff from last year, and we really didn't see it that much with anything other than the Vamp. Once a Man wound up eventually being pretty easy to get. Nemesis, and he was kind of a problem, but we're starting to see it now with the new figures. So that would be my advice: is if it's something you want the day it goes up, order it, sort it later, but you had your chance. That Vamp was there for 4 or 5 weeks, and everybody thought there'd be more, including me, and poof.
Yeah, no, and that's a good point. Like I complained about not getting the Vamp, but I was fully owning the fact that I just waited too long. Like
Yeah,
honestly, it was just I hadn't quite figured out how to order shit to Canada. Oh, it was like this. Okay, time ran out. Okay, now I know, right? And I
yeah.
paid my penance for it. I paid twice what it was worth, probably. But it was worth it to me then, and it's worth it to me still. I like Bobby's comment. That really kind of hits it on the head for me. I find that every once in a while, those digital renders look goofy, but once they're in hand, they're amazing. Um, I can agree with that more or
Most
less.
of them, most
Yeah,
of them. There's been the odd one that the render, what we get don't look like the render, but for the most part, I'd agree with that too. Renders aren't good. And when you get it in hand, like, oh, or you see the final product, like, oh
no,
well,
there it is.
that's not so bad. So that happens.
Yeah, I think Nemesis Immortal's a big example of that. I was mocking this thing left and right, even from the digital renders, from the day he was name dropped to the day he got in my mailbox. He was the butt of a lot of jokes in my mind as far as G.I. Joe lore or stuff, right? But get him in your hand and tell
Yeah,
him you still don't like him, right?
I like him. I like him even more in hand, but I also hate him because the figure is constructed horribly. But I'm the opposite. I'm not a huge Cobra Law fan, but I can make it work. In my head, I always say treat it like an alternate universe, Elseworlds or whatever. I thought
Mm-hmm.
Nemesis looked really good when he was announced. I'm like, I'm not going to get that. And then when I saw it, and we saw what he looked like, and I was saying he's going to be in stock that day because we heard about him for so long. I was like, damn, he looks even better than I expected. And I ordered him, and I love the way he come out. He just, man, he's like one of the worst constructed figures in the entire line.
Mm. Yeah, I that was the other thing too, right? Like, how many times are you expecting a bad character based off what you saw in another guy's review, and it prevented you from putting it in your hand, right? Like, be careful.
It's happened.
That's all I'll say.
Happened.
Sometimes you regret that afterwards. Like I would have regretted missing Nemesis Immortal, even though I really was so reluctant to order them. I did get them, and I was like, I'm glad I did that. But I'm gonna move things along and just say, get caught up in the chat. Bobby says the only render I thought looked better than the figure, the first Falcon, because somehow the face came out uglier than the render. Okay, I thought Falcon wasn't. Oh, Falcon. Pardon me. I'm thinking of Raptor. Raptor. Yeah,
Damn
because
bird
Raptor.
names.
Raptor really looks like he should be called Falcon too. But yes, yeah, no, I agree with you on that point, Bobby. Yeah,
The
that
ferret was
face.
another one. The render for the ferret was kind of janky looking, and it looked. I thought it looked better in
I
hand.
I do remember the ferret making me go, I don't know, like I'm not eager to get that, right? And then I saw the box of it at Joe Fest, and I was like, that looks cooler than what I saw. But yeah, so let's keep going here. All right, you know what? I'm gonna talk about one more Marvel figure before I step away from Joe for a minute, talk about a different line. But let's grab these two. If I talk about this guy these days, it means I'm going to be talking about a Marvel legend, right? So You guys had him on pre-order. He's either in there waiting for you now or he's there. Agent Venom is now out for Marvel Legends on the retro back. I know not down south, pardon me. I gotta get off solos through the screech here. I know that Punk with Toys, if you're still out there, did a really great review showing, what's going on with the Fred 7 conversion as far as that goes. And he did great showing all the ball, the joint neck and stuff. Yes, you need sticky tack to make your Fred 7 work 100%. And what he did, and I'm just going to show it and thank Lawrence again for showing it on his video. But even removing this joint serves a lot better. Like just heat this up, pluck this out with a pair of pliers, put your sticky tack down, and you can have your Fred 7 head on there. I currently have my Fred 7 on a kit bash right now, but that's just my Fred 7. But you can see the depth holes are completely different on the like he's got a big old hole, tiny little hole. So it's not the smoothest transition. So but did you plan on ordering one of these at all, Darren, or were you undecided?
Not until I saw people get it in hand, I wasn't, and now I probably will try and pick it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
try and get a
not just for that, not just for using it for a Fred 7 head, because it's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So, and I've been putting it all over my Instagram and everything. Like the buck itself, if Tony, like I don't know if Tony's still there, but he probably might see it my way. These are headhunter bucks just begging to be made for Cobra's headhunters, right? Like they've got the they've got the right spikes in the right places and things like that. So, I'm probably gonna order a couple of these just because you can't have too many clone heads, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and that's exactly right. Like they've all had plastic surgery to look exactly alike. So I'm usually one. I'm always the guy that's like, oh, well, you take a grunt head and put it on Falcon, or you take this and put it on that. And I'm like, no, that don't work for me. I can't make that work. I'm not that guy. But
Mm.
you can do it with that head because they are all supposed to look exactly the like.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
perfect.
And it's rare for me to like I'm not a big Marvel Legends collector, but I'm becoming one. It's rare for me to see a buck that I want. I just want its head. I only want its head, or I want that accessory that's with it, right? It's rare where I'm like going with the amount of reuse. I can use the whole thing twice. Yeah, your Moon Knight there. Show that
Yeah.
again. I am fond of Moon Knights. Yeah,
It's the
cool
Strange
looking
Tales
character.
one. Yeah, this is a good figure. The only problem with this thing is the cape is like rigid. So when you pose
Yeah,
him, I mean, it's removable, but Moon Knight don't look right without the cape. So
I, that's
you
what I
just
was
kind of,
gonna.
yeah,
I was
you
gonna
just
ask
gotta,
you about that.
yeah, you gotta take you gotta put some thought into when you pose him, but the cape is also rigid enough that it will actually help hold him up. So
Yeah.
if you need to compensate some weight on a foot, that cape will actually help hold him up. But to me, that's cheating.
Yeah, to a degree, I guess it would be. It's a little bit of balance assist. Their Taskmaster figure had a cape like that too. It was just a big
Yeah,
honking, sloppy, like elephant ear of a piece, right?
yeah,
But
probably
yeah,
the same cape.
yeah. Hey, for anybody who's got Operation Monster Force on the go in the collection, like I showed on my Insta there, Delta 17's head, snug fit, perfect fit for this, no shake whatsoever. That's what I saw when I saw the headhunter, right? It was just that
Yeah,
a
it's
helmet like
perfect.
this works.
It's
So just
perfect.
yeah, good to go on that. So I've covered that. I'm
I
gonna
wanted
talk.
to
Go ahead.
I wanted to mention real quick while you were talking about the neck balls and the sticky tack. So don't forget and that our buddy John over at Top Fun Retro Toys 3D
Hmm.
makes neck balls where you can swap out a Legends head into a Hasbro buck and vice versa. He's got packs of them you can buy for just that very thing where you don't have to use the sticky tack.
Yeah, no, I am so glad that you came by and remembered to put, because I wouldn't have remembered that, but you're absolutely right. That's Top Fun Retro sorry, Top Fun Toys Retro, Top Fun Retro Toys 3D. Try
There
any
you go.
combination of those. Sorry, John, I'm blanking on the name. It's a long name, dude. Pumpkin back me on that. Mr. Mad Gus is here. Thanks very much, Tony, for liking that conversion idea. Mr. Mad Gus is here. Before collecting Joe's, I was Marvel Legends collector. There we go. Yeah, so Marvel Legends is the one that I held off on forever because I could go down a rabbit hole. By the way, so long as the heads are being used.
Yeah, that's
um,
good.
but it's because I was a lifelong comic collector. So if I bought one Marvel Legend and then I liked it, what would happen? I'd start buying more, right? And then I'm buying G.I. Joe Classified as well. But being on this side of your guys' border, our border, our shared border, um,
State
Marvel
lines.
Legends, yeah, Marvel Legends and Classified and DC McFarlane are pretty much the big figs you see out here, and we have to import a lot from you guys to see the other good lines, and that's more costly than you think it is, right? For you guys who can buy it within your country's limits, the shipping and handling gets reasonable. To cross the border with it, it's like buying two figs every time you buy one, really.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. So, Mr. Maggus, I'm glad you joined us. I do see 19 in the chat. I haven't mentioned that like button, but if you trip over it, make sure you're smashing it in the ground for me. Stupid son of a bitch just won't stay down. I love it.
Done
Jada
told it
Toys.
once.
Yeah, done told that thing. Jada Toys, I'm going to quickly just talk about Jada Toys. This is another thing you see me weekly trying to bring onto the channel, and not weekly as in by week. I mean week. I am weak at it. It's hard to kind of express what the toys got going on for it, but I will let everybody know something that I found out at GameStop as I show the last wave here. This most recent wave consisted of Cammy, big feature. She's got posable ponytails. That's pretty neat. Guile comes with a comb. That's pretty neat. And DJ just looks sick as hell. The next one I'm expecting out of that wave that I was told I was on pre-order is Vega is on his way. All right. And Bison Player 2 is out in his maroon kind of outfit. I'm not going to buy the Player 2 lines, but Darren, I was asking, did you ever see Bison in the wild yet? Or can I start my search now?
I'm still looking. I actually like the Player 2 with the red and the turquoise kind of.
Yes, the
They swap the
turquoise. Thank you.
colors. I like that Player 2. I'd pick up either one of them, but no, give me just let's wait. I can still order him. I'm just
Yeah.
still hoping I'm gonna wander into Target and it's gonna be something other than Chun-Li or Fei Long.
Yeah, Fei Long was, I think, the first Jada I bought, and I was like, why did I start with this one? Oh my gosh. Dude. Okay, everybody's really happy to say hi in the chat. I just saw a whole blink from Mad Gus there. Okay, and Woody and them are talking. So that's all I wanted to cover on Jada is just that I know Vega is in the pre-order system right now. So if you are collecting that and you weren't aware of that, make sure you get your pre-order in on Vega. I'm looking forward to that one, although I am kind of sick of characters with claws lately. There's a lot of them. Right?
You're scared of the claw.
I'm scared of the claw. So I'm just gonna go back to my agenda to see where I got there. I talked about Jada. Okay, Destro's Castle. Right, going back to this. If you have not watched that video, like I said, there was a password for the contest, the giveaway later. You needed it. Okay, so I do know that some people know it. Don't write it yet. You're gonna want to hang on. All right, but I will squeeze in your stomachs and point you towards that castle once more. So I am going to do a part 3 video on it. That's where it's at right now. Is the exterior has to be done, but it will be used as my Cobra display. I'm going to give myself the full thing here. What am I doing?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Yeah, nobody
There we
wants
go.
to see me. They want to see the castle. Castle.
Yeah. So There's a whole bunch of details I have to add as I keep going. It's one of those things I'll keep revisiting and doing everything. But in the part three, I'm just going to deal with the exterior and all of that other stuff. But um, there is it. That was the Destro Castle part. Just to let you guys know, there will be a part three for that one. But just a reminder, if you didn't see part two, then the giveaway at the end of this one is going to be confusing for you and difficult. Yes, exactly. You've got it right there, man. Hashtag secret words. All right.
I was gonna joke. I'm not gonna joke. Never mind. Proceed. Proceed.
Proceed. Okay. Well, I'm almost done at the proceed part. When there's 21 people in there, and I thank you all for showing up. You must have figured to do the contest at the end, eh? But
It's like waiting on
yeah,
Punk to get to the topic. You got to sit and
yeah.
wait. Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, the last Marvel Legends I wanted to show, and I said I would show a couple kit bashes. That was it too. All right. The other Marvel Legends I picked up was the real Nick Fury set, but I found that I could make Dum Dum Gugging into a gung ho very quickly. Right. So again, Marvel Legends. I am going to be collecting a lot of Shield, and I will show the guys. I sent pictures of this to you the other night, but I'm doing a kit bash of a female sci-fi just until I wait for theirs because I found a bunch of good parts for it. But you'll start seeing some customs and kit bashes coming back to the channel as we get going. So the channel update is that this studio is going to be moving in March or April, probably upstairs. I'll have a lot more space, a lot more workshop, so you'll see a lot more of the customs. And I'm starting to think that Destro's Castle is going to become a lot bigger of a wall unit than what we're seeing right now. All
That'll
right,
be
so
great.
that'll be the channel update. And now I'm going to talk about the drama, Darren. So not the who's, but the what, right? And why I haven't said anything about what's going on the more recent drama. I get the odd joke and whatnot because it's got nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing to do with me. Right? What's going on is going on between those parties that are going back and forth. All right. And I am watching it, and I'm watching it the same way Darren over here is, with reserved judgments and reserved opinions, because it's not the time, because it's still happening and it can just do more damage everywhere you go. Right. So drama is not something that is very well received between Darren and I on our channels. Some people would take that as valuing your channel more than others. For me, it was more about the integrity, the moral, the principle, and the value systems at play. The drama was just the unfortunate side effect. But I bring this up because tonight, if you guys are so interested in knowing more about the drama, I invite you to tune into Savage Land tonight, where he will be probably addressing some of it on his channel at 10:30 tonight. And that's all I'm going to say on it. Um, it's one of these unfortunate things that we're doing business with right now, right? But before I ask your thoughts on it right now, the one thing I wanted to focus on, this was my point, because I'm going against some advice another friend gave me, and I'm talking a little bit about it. We aren't the only ones in control here, guys. As YouTube content creators, we put out videos based off of how we feel about the toys, about how we feel about the hobby, right? Who chooses to watch it, that's a decision that they're in control of. Who chooses to comment, that's a decision they're in control of. The likes, the shares, and the pod stirring. Everybody has their part in it. So if people really wanted it to stop, why hasn't it? That's all I'm going to say, right? Like, why hasn't it? And there's a reason for that. Because you guys, those likes, those views, all of that, that means something different to the YouTube creator. If they are monetized, if they are making a channel grow, all right, all of that has a different relevance. And you need to consider that while you're wondering why these things keep going the way they do, why everybody tries to outdo each other and get the upper hand or the last word. It's got a lot to do with it. I'll take my part of it. Down south, I'm sure we'll take his part of it. but you know, we're not in control of it. What
A
do you
lot
think,
of
Darren?
I think a lot of it is manufactured for that very reason, because of the likes, because of the views, because a lot of times there's monetization involved. You don't often see a lot of beef between people that aren't monetized.
Yep.
So, I mean, not that it's not there; it is. I mean, I know it's there, but it's unfortunately inescapable, and people will get dragged into it by default, and people want you to pick this side or that side, and everybody has their own principles, their own morals, and what most people would think one would be a common set is very askew from what other people's really are,
Hmm.
and they will sometimes use that to an advantage, because for whatever reason all that hate watching, all that negative shit, all that name calling, people, it's like watching a train wreck. And keep that in mind, that there are some people, every time you look at it, every time you like it, it puts a little money in that person's pocket. So if you really are against it, maybe think twice about contributing to that algorithm.
Yeah. And again, that whole argument and what's going on right now, it's completely outside of me. So I'm not making comments on that. What went down between myself and Darren and Aaron was a separate issue entirely. And we have dealt with that. It's dealt with. Aaron and I still communicate, not in the way we used to, but that's got nothing to do with what's going on over there. All right. I'm
No,
not in approval of it. I don't support it. Neither does Darren. But the point I wanted to draw back to was just like, that algorithm, guys, that whole, there's incentives for, let me ask you this. Who makes more money for a WWE event, the hero or the heel? Right? It's the same fucking idea. All right, so
it's
that's
this.
all. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to compare it to like my thoughts on this completely fictional thing that we all love so much. I like these guys way
Mm,
more than these guys, but in the real world, these are the guys I'm going to back in real life.
yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading comments from Woody. I am reading your comments, man. I just don't know if they're necessarily what I want. Let's see. I look at it this way: how quick before he does this to any one of us, and you guys are still fucking with them. It's not. It's closing loops, and that's about all the discussions are that we have with that person, and that's fine because I have a loop that needs to be closed. But
Yeah.
yes, I mean, if you aren't taking a lesson out of the last year of YouTube, like Woody is just drawing the eyes to, then you aren't paying attention. You got to learn the lessons here, right? I still have tons of lessons to learn. So do you, right? Down south, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Always out there.
I was trying to get it started between Draw Pop Lender in the last stream, but they shut me down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's all I wanted to say on that whole thing, guys, because I have been pretty quiet about it. But it's, it's just one of these things where I get a little frustrated and I'll wait till the right time to say something. And now is fine because tonight it will be forgotten. Whatever I said today will be forgotten by about tomorrow. I'm quite sure. Right. So let's get to the contest and the giveaway, guys,
I
if
got
you don't
something to
mind.
say real
Yeah.
quick before you do about your contest. So,
Hmm.
congratulations, Crow! You are here to do a giveaway for your viewers, your subscribers, for hitting 500.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, but also congratulations because today you went over 600. You're at 601 right now.
Yeah,
So,
thanks, man. I figured. Oh, hi, and just Jeff just shows up. Contest, what?
hey,
No,
Jeff.
just kidding, Jeff. Just kidding. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, no, it's yeah, 500 was a milestone. It's just because of the current domestic situation I'm in. I just couldn't get around to addressing anything the way I wanted to. So this year is going to be about catch up. But I did want to say thanks to everybody who kind of stuck with this channel, watched me really fumble off the start, and who continues to watch me fumble now, but with a little bit more grace. I do appreciate that. So I
We're
waited
used
till
to it
we,
now.
yeah. So I thought I'd play it real safe because you can never be too careful in this YouTube environment. And I waited till I hit 600, right? To celebrate
That's right.
500. There you go.
That's right.
It's
I know
embarrassing
what
to
you
give
did
away
there.
something and then call it back, right? I do remember a certain buddy spiking the ball, giving away prizes, and then going, "But I'm not there anymore."
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah, I
um,
remember somebody else that did that too with
mm,
back earlier last year that had to postpone their big one.
yeah,
But enough
yeah.
about that.
No, it's all good. So just to recap, guys, I am going to carry on and I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this contest. I have 3 prize bundles today. Um, all of them to do with GI Joe, but not your traditional. I'm going to give a figure away. There will be a figure given away, but today I'm going to try and share the GI Joe Energon universe with you guys a little bit because I make mention to it, as does Down South. We read it, we enjoy it. Hopefully you guys do too. I know some of you, that's how you came across this channel. As you saw that I was mentioning these, and I hope you enjoy these if you do win these, whoever does. All right, so one prize package will consist of GI Joe's issues 1, 2, and 3. The issue 1 will be the foil cover, so a little bit varianted of that. The second giveaway will be the same as the first, but with different covers. So you have GI Joe issue 1, 2, and 3 as well. All right. And then one lucky giveaway, which will be at the very beginning. We're going to start it off by giving away a Once a Man Cobra Commander inbox with the sleeve there. For those of you who need to have it, you'll have it.
Once a man.
There you go. And the Cobra Commander variant cover of G.I. Joe issue number 1 from Skybound's Energon universe. All right.
That's a brilliant pairing of with that box art and that cover. I love that cover so much.
I might have just focused on that one and came up with the other 2 after, right? So, and it's okay, guys. If you've already got these comics, that's fine. I've got no hard feelings if I'm giving you guys something that you've already got. I just hope that you have the best intentions of either enjoying it or you know somebody who really needed it or wanted it. That's all I want. So long as everybody
Punk
enjoys
has
it.
a good question for you there at the bottom.
Yeah. So the rule will be whoever wins, you only get to win once. Okay. So once you win that prize. If you don't want it, you can say pass and we'll redo things, right? But that's passing on the prize and saying, I don't want that prize. Okay. So that's why I'm getting rid of the Coco first and doing all that. Okay. And for this, the way it's going to work, guys, is I am going to tell you when, and you are going to put in the secret passcode that was mentioned in the Destra's video. Wait. You're also going to have to put in a number from a box that I tell you, and then I'm going to roll a dice, and you're going to add those 2 numbers together and put that at the end of the secret password. So if you were all ready with that secret password all typed up, it's not just a case of hitting enter and go and it's a race. The winner will be the person that shows up with the right answer, the right password, who is subscribed to the channel, and that will be the person on my screen. There'll be no debate about what other people see on their screens. I'm sorry, we can't get into that, right? This is meant to be a fun giveaway, so that's about as fun as I can keep it. Did I explain that well enough that it made sense, Darren?
I think so. I did for me. You might want to go over it again because I know some of our viewers right now probably are a little bit of an elevated consciousness. So you
Okay.
might want to
Yeah.
go
So
over it
Shane Woody,
again.
Shane Woody, listen up.
Legends.
No. So yes, it's like, remember back in the day when you did the mail order for your GI Joe Manta or Weapons Mail Away or Cobra Commander or Steel Core Trooper, and they made you do the skill testing question? Remember the skill testing question? You had to fill in that stupid math equation. Not going to be that hard, buddy. Trust me. Okay. So what it is, all right? The secret password that we had in the Destro video. And you're going to add a number of one of these 3 boxes and the number of the dice roll that I roll on this 20-sided dice. Once you have that math sorted out and you have it in there and you hit enter, whoever's first with the right answer is going to be the person that wins the Cobra Commander Once a Man and that comic. All right. I
Get the
hope
damn
that works.
calculator out.
Hey, Mr. Mad Guts, I heard you were sponsoring this channel now. That's awesome. Okay. So you lost me at math. Okay, punk. Well, I lost you then. I mean, we all play with the tools at hand, guys. All right, so you're gonna want to do it now. This is for the Cobra Commander. So adding to your secret password, you're adding the number 100 plus 11. So whatever that number is, secret password plus whatever 100 plus 11 is, put it in there now, and you're gonna win the first prize package, the Once a Man Cobra Commander and the comic. All right.
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, there we go. Right off the bat. Menjoza, congratulations. By the power of Destro 111, you have won the Once a Man Cobra Commander and that cover that goes so well with it. Okay? Congratulations. It's that
Nice.
simple, guys. I got to keep it that simple. Otherwise, people get hurt.
Congratulations, Menjoza. Bobby, you must be having an internet outage today
Yeah, you were
in
quick.
your area.
Menjoza, make sure I got my Gmail in the channel description. Of course, I am on Insta and on Messenger. You can hit me up, get me that address, and we'll get that out to you in the next couple of weeks. Okay. And I'll let you know when that's sent with the tracking number and everything like that. All right. Bobby thought there was a dice roll. Yeah, I rolled it and then I told you the number. It was there. Sorry. Did you guys want to see the dice roll? Will that make things faster? I don't know, but it's harder. All right. So the next one is going to be for the foil covered GI Joe #1, and then the number 2 and number 3 comics that go with that. So prize pack number 2, and you guys can go ahead and type in the password. You know what it is now. We're gonna add 108 to 14. So whatever 108 and 14 is with that password, that's going to win that comic bundle. Let's see who's got it. I do this while you type. 108 plus 14 is Big Ditties. Oh God, close. So close. Let's see. I think Bobby did win something today. Let's do the math. 108, and then you add 14. That's 122, right? Yeah, there we go. So Bobby, congratulations. You won the foil copy of G.I. Joe Energon Universe #1, and then the follow-up generic 2-3 issue, so you know how it goes down. And thanks very much for putting in the right one. But thank you very much, Turk Murph, because that should have won all day. I don't know why I'm saying that.
Always wins in my book.
Yeah. All right. And how's it going, Lunchbox Killer? Thanks for joining us. Listen, we are giving away the last of the prizes right now, guys, for the 500. Thank you. Before I give it away, I just don't want to draw so much attention to that, but just to the honest thank you, guys. Thank you very much, the subscribers to this channel. And thank you very much, Down South 77, because this last year, we've had a lot of ups and downs in YouTube, and it really has been the community that's kind of bound everybody together, checked on each other. I know you guys don't like community, whatever you want to call it. It's been important to a guy like me who's been trying to gauge where my interests should sit and what I do with my time. I enjoy my time out here because of all of you guys and because of the guy sitting next to me way down there in Tennessee. Thank you. So, last one. This one, we did 100. You know what? For this one, this is for the last comic bundle, guys. All right, with G.I. Joe #1, 2, 3 there. And again, Bobby, you make sure you contact me. You know how to contact me so I can get your address and all that stuff squared away. So for this last one, we're going to use the number from our grand prize that Menjoza won. Number 130. You're going to put in the password 130 and the number. Oh, we hit 11 again. 130 and 11. All right, let's get that last prize out there. So password, the secret password, 130 plus 11. Put it all in there and tell me what we got. And then I'll be happy to get this out there. Okay, 130 plus 11 is 141 all day. Daredevil Dave, you have won the last 3 comics, buddy. I couldn't think of a better way for that one to end, my friend. All right. Thank you very much, guys. That's going to do it for the. I'm sorry I didn't have more to give away, guys, but when you help me out and we get up to 1,000, I promise make I will make particular milestones. And I'm not always going to be the guy giving away a figure. I'll try and think of other things that are fun to give away as well. But figures should be a part of it, right? Isn't that why we're here? Anyways,
Right. Congratulations, guys.
yeah.
And
So
Crow.
thanks very much, guys. I appreciate that. That's really all I had for you guys today. I only wanted to monopolize about an hour. I got an hour 15. Darren, did you have any closing thoughts today on anything you wanted to bring up? What do you got going on in your channel coming up this week, by the way?
Just backyard battlefield with you on this coming Wednesday at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We're going to got a couple topics that we're going to solidify, but we will be going over our last picks for 1991 to 1994 for the things that we think classified could resurrect and do some justice to. We did 86 through 90 on the last one. So we'll be doing 91 to 94 on Wednesday. And of course, hanging out with the chat, and we will have another topic beforehand we'll talk about.
Yeah, right on. No, and I'm looking forward to that. I do have to get caught up. That whole thing was partly my idea, and I honestly got to get on it because it's hard to pick vehicles from those years when you're from my generation of Joe, the 82 to 88 line, and you've got to pick vehicles from the 92 and downward. It starts getting pretty hard to justify them, but it's fun to look at them.
Yeah, when you get into because we really need, you were out and I was still collecting up until 92, kind of. I only had a couple figures from 92, so some of those vehicles and from 92 forward is scraping the bottom of the barrel to come up with stuff that you actually think could make a good idea.
But that's the challenge, right? You've got to pretend like you are standing in that boardroom, and if you don't pitch this idea, you're walking out with no job, right? So yeah, that's how I like to look at them. Yeah. So still waiting on dial tone. So we don't know when the dial tone reviews come in from that.
No.
Now you did just drop a review on that Moon Knight, right?
Yeah, I did. If anybody's interested in that, and most people that subscribe to me don't seem to be, I did do a review on the Strange Tales Marvel Legends Moon Knight. Did do some funny pictures for the end of it though, so at least go see the pictures I stuck at the end of it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not my scant Marvel Legends stuff didn't get a lot of views, but I do it for fun and give you my thoughts on it. So if you're interested, it's out there. That's my most recent one. I've got a couple of things coming from Hella Dope whenever they get them in, not Joe stuff. So whenever that gets here, I'll get a review out on it. But not just ain't really a whole lot going on, man. Just putting some research and stuff into doing our streams and trying to stay out of trouble.
Right on. Yeah. Well, I would say I have plans for the week. I have one more review I have to do. Darren, you provided me with a His Tactician I haven't gotten to yet. There won't be a whole lot to that review, but it needs reviewing for sure. I didn't show Shadow Tracker, just got up this week for that review, and that's another Darren contribution, so appreciate it. Jesus. But this week, yeah, I'm not sure what this week's going to hold as far as what's coming in. I'm not expecting anything from Hasbro outstanding unless retro cards start showing up or somebody does a surprise with heavy duty. That's the next figure I'm expecting. So
I think he'll be. I'm expecting people to start getting him in the next couple weeks. I think from some vendor somewhere. Who knows? Maybe it'll be jacked up like it has been with these first four figures, but it wouldn't surprise me if he starts shipping from some places in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think he's going to be one of those slipped in parts of the waves. They're tucked in at random intervals. Bobby, I know you're joking, but that's kind of what it is right now. I think people only want to hear about specifics of other lines. Marvel Legends, I don't know. Is people already tired of Marvel Legends before the conversation begins just because everybody knows about comics? I'm curious
Could
because I've
be.
noticed it too. If I make a Marvel Legends video, it's not going to hit as well as a GI Joe Classified video because of who we built as our subscribers. But
Yeah.
I also want the guys to know, as the toy collecting goes, it's harder and harder to stay exclusively one line. I would recommend don't. And Marvel Legends really does kind of earn their hype. So some figures will work their way into my show, just as I think they are with you, right?
Yeah, and I'm very picky. Like I'm, I've stayed away from Marvel Legends. Marvel is my comic brand of choice. And but I
Mhm.
didn't. I mentioned before I didn't read like a whole ton of different titles, so anything I buy is going to be very picky and choosy. But they are putting out a lot more stuff that I do want to pick up. One of them I definitely want to get, and it's sold out on Pulse. Is that that Spider-Man, that retro, the classic Spider-Man Green Goblin just coming out. I
Oh.
I don't know how I missed it when they dropped it, mostly because I don't really pay attention to the drops that aren't GI Joe, so it
Mhm.
went over my head. But I got to get my hands on that classic Green Goblin. That's one at some point you will definitely see a video from me on.
Yeah, and I'm putting Bobby's up there. Feels like Marvel Legends has already given us all the character small changes. Anything worth talking about is wrong, and in the with anything really worth talking about is wrong in that Agent Venom head. Oh, oh, is raw. The only thing is ROM and the Agent Venom head. Yes, I'm very excited for that ROM as well. Um, I don't know if I agree with that or not, Bobby. And I respect the opinion, but it does tell me, like I said, I'm going to be doing a good, the bad, the ugly video on Marvel Legends at some point based on what I've thought as worth buying. And I think, yeah, I can kind of see the point. Sometimes you have to explain why you bought this variant of a character and not a different variant. In a way, with Marvel Legends, you don't with other collections, right? You could
Yeah,
have 23 different Spider-Men, but for some reason you think two are great and the rest suck ass. Why? Right? So I
yeah.
think we can explore that on that one there. But hey, guys, Mr. Mad Gus, yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that. Darren, I'm gonna call it on this live. I want to thank you very much for being so flexible with your schedules to come be my wingman and help me
Yep.
emphasize not flying solo again for a little while, so I'm set up properly.
Yep.
Um,
Anytime.
yeah. And to the rest of you, thank you very much again for being, the good subscribers you've been. You've been great subscribers. Thank you, new subscribers. If you did find me, whether it was for the contest or just a coincidence of the show, I hope you've enjoyed what you've found here, and I hope that you stick around to see more reviews in the time to come. And I promise I'll keep active at it. Thanks very much for your time tonight, guys. As Evil Dookie is telling everyone, I wish you all a good night. Don't forget to check out Savage Land tonight if you want closure on certain subjects that have been ongoing through the week. And make sure you hit his likes and things like that if that's for your thing. But do think about the things that I talked about tonight about this sort of stuff. Please challenge yourself with some critical thinking. We're trying to do the same. Some rationality goes a long way. And thank you again, guys. We'll see you next time. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Okay.